guys, welcome to beautiful Wyoming. Elk Mountain. Seems like it has its own atmosphere up here. We're up about 8,500 foot, about 5 below zero. A little cold out. Welcome to my fifth and final chapter of Truckers Exposed. This is part of the video where you'll find my suggestions for new time drivers, how to get your Class A driver's license, suggestions on some of the equipment that I use. Little hints as to how how you can save a lot of money in fuel costs, being it's your largest expense in the industry. Some of my recommendations as far as companies that to start off with, good leasing companies versus bad leases. I'm going to try to cram everything into this video just to wrap it up. I've got a few other projects I want to get started on, and they're a little bit more exciting than trying to talk about trucking. It's the last thing I really want to talk about. Go figure. Hope you've enjoyed my videos, and here we go. It's going to go real fast. Peace.
Hey guys, this episode's on how to get your CDL Class A driver's license in no time flat. It's real simple. There's two portions of the test. There's a written portion and a driving portion of the exam. To get your written portion, you simply go down to your local DMV, get the combination book, also known as the Class A driving manual. Study it. You want to study the combination, air brakes, and while you're at it, go ahead and study the hazmat. And I'll tell you why. You get 3 chances to take this written exam. It's computerized. On the third exam, you may not pass the first one, just ask to retake it. On the third one, more than likely you'll get some of the very same questions you got on the first exam. You'll pass it. It's not that hard, guys. What this will allow you to do is legally drive with another Class A driver. This is the first key. Really study the pre-trip portion of the exam. It will count for over 60% of your overall exam with the examiner. He's really going to watch to see that you're looking and you know what parts of the truck are what. Some of them can be kind of tricky too. On every driving portion of the exam, they will take you, for example, under a bridge. He won't say a word when you're coming up to the bridge, and it won't be a low overpass. But as soon as you go under it, he'll ask you, how high was that bridge you just went under? Watch these little things. Really study this driver's guide. It'll help you out. Everybody's going to grind a few gears, especially if you've not been driving for very long. Don't worry about that. Worry about the pre-trip portion of this exam. While you're up there, when you go up either to get your book to start studying or when you go up to take the written portion of the exam, almost every DMV I've ever been into, they list a number of private examiners that are classified and listed with the state that you're in that are able to give you the driving portion of the exam. Make sure you get those phone numbers and take them with you. Some of these guys are scheduled out 3 and 4 months in advance, so you might want to talk to them. Try to schedule. Usually they'll do this on a Saturday or Sunday for a little extra cash. Usually running around $200 to $250 is what you should pay for the driving portion of the exam. The written portion of the exam is really cheap. I think it's like $14, $15. All right, here's the tricky part. You have to pass this driving exam. After you've done your pre-trip, and you really know that pre-trip inside and out, you need to get a day cab single axle tractor. After you read this book, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll also need to find out where you can lease or rent a drop deck or a flatbed trailer. Think about it. If you can turn around and look right out the window right behind you and see your entire length of the trailer, it makes passing this driving portion of the exam a breeze. A couple little things you can do to practice before you lease this truck. Everyone knows a friend that has a boat or a lawn, some type of a trailer. Jump in a truck, a 4-wheel truck or a car, whatever, and just practice backing up. You want to be able to do a blind side parallel park. That's passenger side parallel park. Every examiner I've ever been to does this. You also want to pay close attention to a brake test to make sure your alarm and your buzzers and your air pressure gauges are correct before you pull out of that parking lot. Here's another little hint. with that Class A book in your hand, you can go to any truck stop, anywhere you see a trucker that's not in a sleeper, but he's just kind of killing time, maybe waiting to get loaded or unloaded. If you take that book and you have it in your hand so he knows why you're approaching his truck, man, everybody loves to talk about the business that they're in. So most of these guys are really nice guys out here, and they'll be more than willing to help you out, show you what it means to watch your air brake test. They'll even show you the motor and your brake parts and your steering components that you'll need to know and what to watch for. They'll walk you right through this pre-trip. You can practice the pre-trip on your car even. Just get that pattern on where you start and the way you go around the truck, checking certain aspects of the truck. It's not that hard. So there you have it. You have your driver's license in a matter of a week without paying $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 to these companies. By simply leasing a truck, now you'll have to have that guy with the Class A license. That's the main hurdle there. I realize that, guys. But with the day cab and a flatbed, it's a cinch. And I've trained over 100 guys to get their Class A driver's license, and this is how I do it. You know, although I don't recommend going into the trucking industry right now, largely due to going into a recession, the price of fuel is just outrageous. I just paid $3.58 a gallon. It cost me $780 to fill up my rig to run 24 hours. That's expensive. But think about this. If you can have a second trade in your pocket, where after your driver's license is a couple years old, you can, with nothing more than a phone call to any of these trucking companies, they're all desperate for drivers. You could be making, a $600-700 paycheck the next week if, God forbid, something was to happen to your, current position that you're in. That's something to think about. It's a nice little fallback thing. I did that all through my 20s.